episode 12 of Who'd Win?
DC sucks.
In this episode, as in every episode, though I promise not to go over the rules and explain them each episode, we only have two, so let's do it really quickly. We will do a matchup between two Marvel Universe characters. The two rules are simply that they will be evenly matched and that Aidan and I do not talk about the matchup before the episode is filmed.
Yes.
That's right. And in this episode, we have a battle between Scott Summers, Cyclops, and Steve Rogers, Captain Flippin' America. So,
I can tell you are very hyped up.
I'm super hyped about this. So we have chosen the leader of all leaders, Captain America.
And the second leader of all leaders, Cyclops.
And the second leader of all leaders, Cyclops. Tell us a little bit about Cyclops, Aidan.
Cyclops has optic blasts. He's a very good leader.
Captain America once called him the best strategist he knew.
He's a pretty good hand-to-hand combat fighter, and he has sweet shades.
He does have sweet shades. So Cyclops' history is pretty simple. He first appeared in Uncanny X-Men #1, or just X-Men #1, really. His story starts that he was, so this is a weird one from these old 60s origin stories. So he was in a plane because his dad, who goes by the, hero named Corsair, was, like every good superhero, a pilot. His mom and his dad, his little brother Alex, they're coming home from vacation, and suddenly, an alien ship attacks them.
What the
heck?
Yep,
never happened to me on my way back to Alaska in my own plane, but it did. And so his mom did what every good mother would do. She opened the side of the plane and she shoved her kids out into the snow.
What the heck was she thinking?
But it's okay, because they landed in the snow and Scott saved little Alex, who also became a superhero, because of course he did. But unfortunately, young Cyclops bumped his head. That's right. He bumped his head. Yeah. And his optic blast don't work anymore. So he has to wear this ruby quartz visor that prevents his beams from shooting forever from his eyes. Now these beams, they are powerful, So the way that this works is his body does not generate these beams. They are not heat vision like Superman, because DC sucks. They are, and his body acts as an interdimensional portal to a non-Einsteinium universe in which this energy exists. I don't know what that means either. He shoots these beams from another dimension out of his eyes, and he can control them to be pretty much darn near any width and almost any, whether wide or narrow. So he can make them have laser focused, and he can make them extraordinarily wide, and they are concussive blasts. So they knock stuff back, and they can knock through things if he chooses to do that. And all that's controlled just like you would focus your eyesight.
He's also immune to his own blasts, too.
He is immune to his own blast.
Because basically every single time he shoots, it's just bouncing back onto his face.
Right, so he literally is shooting these beams out of his eyes all the time. He just wears a visor that not magically, that scientifically prevents that from happening. He, like all awesome comic stories, is picked up by somebody else, Professor X, trained how to be an amazing leader and a martial artist. And he goes on to be, again, one of the best strategists and tacticians in the Marvel Universe.
Well, what strategist mean?
He can come up with a lot of different strategies to do things.
Oh, I thought Beast was the best.
He's smarter, but not strategically the smartest. So Cyclops can also shoot these concussive blasts at angles, so he can reflect them off of objects, and has been known to do that at the drop of a hat in the middle of combat, no trouble at all. Okay. I really like Cyclops.
Yeah.
All right, tell us a little bit about Captain America.
So Captain America, he is a good leader. He has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, all that stuff from the super soldier serum, and he has his trusty vibranium shield.
All right, so we all know the story of Captain America. He was the pipsqueak, all-American boy who just wanted to serve his country in World War II. Couldn't do it. So he signed up for an experimental treatment called the super soldier serum, and it made him the best, peak human in every way.
Yeah!
Yeah. So he ends up, of course, defeating Hitler with by himself. With a little guy named Bucky. He seriously doesn't have any real superpowers. A lot of people would say he doesn't have any superpowers, but he does. He has every human attribute to its peak performance level. So the strength that he portrays in the movies is a little beyond where he would have in the comics. Like where he's holding down the helicopter thing, that's a bit much. But the speed that he has running around the track is also around the reflection pool, I think, at the mall, is also a little bit much, but close. He's also known to be able to use this shield in ways that you really normally wouldn't use a shield. He can throw it. He's really good at judging how it's going to reflect off different objects, and because of his training, he's one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe. He's mastered all sorts of forms of combat because he's been alive forever.
And he was trained by the army.
And the army. So there's that. He has been the super everyman, going toe-to-toe with people from, just criminals to Thanos and coming out on top most of the time. And he's also the moral compass of the Marvel Universe, much like he is in the MCU, in that several times he's disagreed with the American government. Huh.
Yeah.
And protested. Just saying, and literally thrown down the shield, which some would liken to the American flag, and decided that he wouldn't be Captain America anymore because they were asking him to do things that he wouldn't, as a strong, patriotic American, do. Each of those times he returned because people begged and pleaded him to, because they realized that the things that they had chosen to do weren't the best for the country. All right, I think I'm better now. All right, let's see who would win. Cyclops or Cap? Let's do it. So it's what now? Test it. Okay.
The countdown is Cap, Thor, Iron Man, shoot.
All right, let's go. Ready? Cap, Thor, Iron Man, shoot. Cap!
Cyclops!
All right, Abe. I knew this was going to happen. Tell us why you think Cyclops is going to defeat Captain America.
So I think Cyclops would win because Cyclops' eye beams can travel as fast as the speed of light, maybe even faster.
They can go the speed of light, yeah. That is fast.
And so like as the battle starts, he can just shoot it. He can shoot Cap without Cap even getting out of shield.
Yeah.
So he'll just fall down, and then he can run over to him and keep shooting him. And those eye beams, they hurt. He hurt the World War Hulk super hard with them. He went under his skin, literally.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
And yet, I think Captain America wins. Here's why. The vibranium shield will easily deflect even those optic blasts that can carve a hole in the sides of mountains. I know they move the speed of light, but the one limitation that Cyclops has that Cap doesn't is every single physical trait. Cyclops isn't superhuman other than his optic blast. All the other stuff is good sweat and tears and training. Captain America has all that training and then some, and superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman stamina, superhuman durability.
Peak human stuff.
Peak human everything. And
not superhuman. Peak.
I think that while this would be extraordinary, Aiden's right. The concussive force that he hits that shield with is going to prove a real challenge for Cap. But I trust that though both of them are great in judging the angles of their optic blast and their shield, that anything that hits the shield is just null and void. It can just level out any kind of concussive blast. I don't understand the physics of that, but it can. So, barring Cyclops being able to ricochet a beam off something that hits a Cap in the back of the head, trips him from his wonderful little red boot that Cap can't react to because they're going light speed. Barring that, Cap gets anywhere near Cyclops and it's over. I see Cap not throw the shield because that's his entire defense.
Yeah.
Run right at Cyclops, hit him over the head, and that's it.
That's definitely, he doesn't just hit him in the head and that's it though.
I think a close hand-to-hand combat with these two would be impressive because while I think Cap's probably a better fighter and again has all the physical attributes that Cyclops doesn't, Cyclops, I trust, has trained just as hard for a shorter amount of time with less military training and could put up quite a fight with that and his beams. But I think because Captain America can go all day, ladies and gentlemen, Cap wins. All right. So, what do you want to do now? We actually do have a disagreement.
So we have to bring in the tiebreaker.
We got to do it. Go for it.
Come in here, Kieran!
Hi, hello, it's me, I'm Kieran, and I'm the tiebreaker, apparently.
Yeah.
You would think it would be apparent by now. All right, so in a titanic matchup between Scott Summers. Oh, I just want to point out that this is our summertime special. We've got Scott Summers versus Captain America. We should have done this last week for July 4th.
That would be
That
funny.
would have been cool.
That would have been fun.
So anyway, I think Captain America, through his Captain Americanness, wins. Aiden thinks Cyclops wins because his blasts travel so fast that there's nothing Cap
And
can
they're
do.
super strong.
They are
Super duper strong.
Alright, so I guess drum roll please. I think that Cyclops would win.
I knew it! Yeah!
I do love Cyclops.
So I think Cyclops would win. I don't think it'd be easy,
Let me
but
hear
I
some of
think
this stuff.
I think he'd definitely win because everything you said, Cap has to be close up to do, and you even specifically stated that Cap wouldn't throw his shield because that's his only way of defense. Mm. So,
And but that's also only his long range attack.
yeah,
Very true.
Exactly. So I feel like Cyclops, his blasts being concussive, would keep Cap at a distance. And I do want to know whether or not the beams deflect off the shield. Because the shield is really wonky physics-wise. It's supposed to absorb kinetic energy, and yet it bounces off walls.
Well, I will say that in AVX,
if it deflects...
It just deflected. Now, he did hunker down to sort of absorb it, but he didn't get shot into the ground, so he must be deflecting it.
I don't know. I still think he'd win.
I've seen the guy bat away a shell from a tank, okay? Just...
Cyclops could do that with his
awesome American arms of his.
Cyclops could do that with a beam, though.
He could.
Yeah, he could.
And at a distance.
All right, fair enough.
So I think Psych would win, and yes.
I'm not sad. I'm not sad about that.
Psych wins.
Psych is
Slim.
Good old Slim. Good old Psych. Good old spectacles. So in episode 12 of Who'd Win,
Cyclops wins.
Cyclops defeats Captain America. I think that is it.
Subscribe.
See you next time. Thanks for watching. We hope you like our videos. We hope that everyone's doing really well during this quarantine and the pandemic that's changed our entire world. We are thinking about those of you who have hardship due to your work situation and certainly your health. If we don't know you, then we're going to have you in our thoughts anyway and hope that you feel as though you're starting to know us now. So if you like our videos, keep watching.
Hey guys, hit subscribe and hit the bell.